But I really want to commend you for coming and having the willingness and dedication to your loved ones for wanting to gather more information for them. I'm Kathy O'Connell. I'm a certified rehabilitation counselor and a mental health counselor. And I have spent my whole career working almost exclusively with people with disabilities. And I have my own business called Radiant Abilities. And I focus all my trainings, all my products, everything I produce is centered around self-esteem, empowerment, and confidence for people with disabilities. I have a website, a blog, all that good jazz. So, successful dating and relationships. What I teach is more focus on interpersonal skills, proactive approaches, and problem-solving strategies. And this is because there are a lot of great resources out there that focus a lot on sexuality. But in the course of counseling people and in my own life, what I saw was lacking was communication, education about the softer skills that are so important to making connections with other people, that promote good self-esteem, creating healthy boundaries, increasing confidence, and promoting healthy relationships. I still don't see a lot of that talked about when we talk about supporting people with disabilities to date and have relationships. And what is it that you ultimately, especially if you're a family member, what is it that you ultimately want for your loved one? Love. You know, a lot of parents, you sit down and talk to them about sexuality and they're like, ah! But when you sit and talk to them about what do you really want for your loved one, and we want them to have love, to be loved, to feel loved, and we want them to have companionship, a full life. And usually for most of us, a full life is about having loving relationships. And not to be morbid, this is the only 2 seconds I'll be morbid, but you want to know when you're gone that they're not alone. That's what families are really looking for. So, the fundamentals here, bits training, and they call bits training in these 2 hours scratching the surface training to give you a good general idea of what you work with is to acknowledge that we all desire closeness and the connection with others as a means of growing and living our life. That's one fundamental. The other is that your loved one, whoever you support with a disability, desires love, intimacy, and companionship just as much as anyone else. So that's in the framework that I have in teaching this. And by the way, if any of you have any questions, feel free to put your hand up. And I will say that a lot of what I teach right now, even though it's catered to dating and relationships, a lot of it is also applicable for friendships and just making friends in general. So now, just a bit about me. So, there are 2 reasons why I'm so passionate about it. And when I say passionate, I am really gearing my whole business to focus on helping people to date and have relationships. And one of the reasons is, as I mentioned, I'm a counselor and counsel people for 20 years. And this is probably the #1 issue of all the people I have ever counseled have. They desperately want to be in a relationship, and many have felt that because they have a disability, some felt that made it impossible for them to have success in this area. And then 2, my own story is that I grew up having amazing parents, but who never talked to me about dating and relationships. I grew up wanting desperately to have boyfriends and go out on dates, but it was a lot harder for me to do that. And I was single for many, many, many years. And I struggled with seeing all my friends and get married and have families, and always being alone, being single, and really feeling like my disability was superior to dating and relationships. Well, obviously from the picture you can tell something happened, and I'll get into that later, but it wasn't until I realized, okay, you know what, that cerebral palsy isn't going anywhere, so I'm just gonna have to put it right out there to whoever I'm dating and feel confident about that. That's the key. Feeling confident about having a disability and dating that happened. And I'll say a little more later about that. Yeah. So my framework from both of my personal story and working as a counselor is that self-esteem, confidence, and the sense of empowerment are the keys to successful dating and relationship. It isn't about them or what's out here. It's all about what's in here. Okay, and they did mention this a few minutes ago, but there are great resources out there about sexuality. However, I don't really go into that in what I teach. Obviously, if someone comes and do me one-to-one, I will do it, but my emphasis is that we don't talk as much about what's beyond sexuality and teaching people how to actually have a relationship and how to feel good about oneself in a relationship, because it is darn hard to date with a disability. We'll just set that out, we'll own it. It's very hard, but obviously not impossible. And what I'm thinking, most of you, if not all of you, really want is to get at the heart of it, which is all about who the person is, what their desires are, what their dreams are, their hopes, their needs. So we're going to begin with talking about interpersonal skills that one needs for success and just, really just in beginning to think about dating and relationships. And that thing is, who here, doesn't matter if we're a family, person with a disability, a professional, who here is, and if you don't want to raise your hand, you don't need to, who here is already dating? Okay, can we get a round of applause? And who here is thinking about dating? And if you're a family member and they have a person in your family that's thinking about dating, raise your hand. Okay. And is there anyone here who you came, but your family member, is going to say, oh my God, so why did you go there? I don't want a date. Okay. So we have all levels here. And you know what? I believe that it's really not about how a person feels about dating per se, but what they're wanting for their life. And what we are about to look at now will be applicable no matter what they want in their life. So, a big reason why I also focus on healthy relationships is because I myself and my clients that I work with sometimes got into not so healthy relationships that were painful, that lowered self-esteem, that lowered confidence. And I think that we can tend to get very focused on, oh, Johnny's dating, isn't it great? But are we looking at, is Johnny happy in the relationship? Is he being treated well in the relationship? And do we teach people to be picky and to be selective and to be able to say, you know what, I don't like this, you know? So that's why I also pull in talking about healthy relationships. Okay, so 3 things. Positive view of oneself. How many of you, and again, don't raise your hand if we don't want to, but how many of you have ever been attracted to someone who can't stand themselves? They're not people you're drawn to, are they?
Right.
Right? So teaching someone to have a positive view of themselves. Then having the confidence to put yourself out there. Can I get a show of hands of how many people are married here in the room? Okay. I don't know about you all. Part of the reason why I love being married is it means I don't need to go out on another date. Right? Yeah, you hear me? Dating is hard. You know, and we think about our kids, our family members with a disability who are already, you know, building themselves up every day to go out in the world. And now we want them to go out and say, hi, I like you, will you date me? It's hard. It's hard. So the confidence to put oneself out there, and then problem solving strategies to help nurture relationships. And that goes back to the healthy relationships. That great, you have a boyfriend, girlfriend. Now the work really begins. I'll never forget when I was single, and it was a time where my best friend was also single, and she called me one night crying, going, I just want to meet someone so I don't have to work at a relationship. relationship ever again. And they thought, oh my gosh, honey, you're in for trouble. Because we all know when you have a relationship, that's when the real work begins. But first, the problem. And this is the problem that I saw happen to people I work with time and time again. That people, not all people with disabilities, but a good percentage can have negative self-talk, self-defeating beliefs about themselves. Think about it. If in general you have things that you can't do, like walking, communication, being good at school, and you're feeling bad about yourself for those things, how that can carry forth into, putting yourself out there as the person that other people want to be with. If you're focused on what you can't do and the lack of experience of meeting people and being successful. And this is often due to a combination of things. And it's sometimes due to a lack of information about dating and relationships, a lack of maybe peers to talk to them about dating and relationships. I mentioned that my parents were great, but they never talked to me about dating and relationships. Well, thank God for my friend Catherine, we would sit in the back of music class in 7th grade, and there I had my education. And we still, unfortunately, have a media that is set up to give negative messages to people with disabilities. I think it's slowly improving, but we still don't have a lot of examples in movies and in TV of people with disabilities just out there living life without dating and relationships. And they really have to commend advocates because, it was only a couple years ago I was doing nothing to do with dating, but a parent empowerment workshop for a well-known organization. I won't say who. And the organizer kind of went over to me and said, oh, I would love to have you do something on relationships, but our agency would never support that. No. So, kudos to the advocates. So, okay, so I do happen to always bring this up because there is never enough conversation about the following topic. This is the handout that I got from a train-the-trainer training that I went to a couple of years ago about sexuality training. And I thought that this would be good for you to look at and see what people are actually saying that they want about relationships and dating. We want them so we're not so lonely. We want to learn so we can pick the right person. We want to know so that we can be safe. And I would encourage you to look at these quotes from people. So on that note, you know, in my business, I have an online survey that people can take. And people with disabilities take that survey, and it's all about dating and relationships. And these are some of the fears and concerns that people have in their own words. I'll be rejected because of my disability. I don't have enough confidence. I'm concerned about someone accepting my disability. I don't believe I'm attractive enough. Is it fair for me to burden another with my disability-related issues? So these were very common answers by quotes to 30 different people. These were the common themes that people have about rejection, about confidence, about acceptance. And these are the struggles that your loved one or the person you work with may be experiencing, but may have trouble articulating. And also, in addition to what people are feeling inside about their confidence and about being accepted, there's a whole nother real issue that happens with people with disabilities. Go ahead. So I have to bring this up because they said the statistics. It's many as 83% of women with developmental disabilities and 32% of men are victims of sexual assault. Now just think, in the general population, if 83% of women were being assaulted, what outrage that would be. But yet we hardly hear about that. For most people with developmental disabilities, they say their first sexual encounter was rape. And this is sickening. Only 3% of perpetrators actually get convicted. 49% of people with developmental disabilities report they suffer from chronic sexual abuse. Yet we hardly hear about it. It's appalling, and yet we hardly hear about this. Except for that year, did anyone hear the series that NPR did on this very topic? Who did? Karen? You did? Karen gets the book for hearing the story. And I put the link here, and hopefully it's readable in your handout. And you could Google the title of the series. It's a very disturbing. It's like a 5-6-part series. It's a very disturbing, and I would say you really have to listen, because it talks about people being abused, about people not being communicated, not being educated about relationships and sexuality, and therefore they were, in my opinion, they were taken advantage of, and this relates to something I alluded to when I began. So my introduction to this topic was when I was fairly new out of graduate school, and I was a program coordinator, and I got a call one coach on Friday at 4 o'clock, call from a staff that I supervised, saying that Kelly, who she works with, a young woman with a developmental disability, is reporting she has a boyfriend. And it's the neighbor, who is like 20, 30 years older than her. So I was told by my director that since I got the call, I should go investigate. And what came out of that was that this older gentleman had been grooming Kelly, and had befriended her, was talking nice into her, and then he had an opportunity when his family was away for the weekend to lure her to his house down in the basement, where he took advantage of her. And she thought that heinous act meant they were boyfriend and girlfriend. That's the real heartbreak. And I had to be the one to take her to the ER to get a rape kit done, which was another trauma for her to have that done. And this was all because she had two sisters who did not have a disability, who would have boyfriend after boyfriend, go out on dates. Kelly watched all of this going on for years, felt to herself she wanted that too, but yet no one ever talked to her about it because at the time they just assumed her disability meant she would not have that as a part of her life. But when we all know that when we really desire something and it hurts, even when we don't have education or information, we are going to go looking for it, maybe in the unsafe areas, like Kelly did. So that's why I feel, even though this is a very heavy topic, I feel like I need to have this. It's a part of all the training on dating and healthy relationships, because as hard as it may be, especially for your family, to venture into this area with your loved one, trust me, this is 1,000 times worse to go into. So, the solution to that problem of not having someone who's informed, empowered, knowledgeable about dating and relationships is to communicate in the knowledge that they have a desire to want companionship. And it may not be in the form that you think companionship is. It may be just hanging out with someone in program even, or in services, but beginning to talk to them about what they're thinking. And as I said, they may not have the words, but you do. And you can say, oh, could I look like this? Could you be feeling this way? You'll be surprised if you just make a comment, grocery shopping, and say, oh, she looks cute. What do you think of her? I mean, some of your family members might say, Mom, go away. But begin to open that door for them to begin to have the words around that. Teaching about positive core beliefs, and I'll get into that in a minute. But what if that Kelly that I just told you about was taught that a man that she would like to date should take her out and treat her well and treat her to a good dinner rather than luring her to a basement? What if she were taught her value enough to recognize, oh, that's in person, they're not treating me well? When people feel good about themselves, they tend to be in much better relationships. I mean, I'm sure you all have I think someone friend who you think, why are they with that person? Right? We all got someone friend like that. You know? And they will say, my friend like that is now divorced. But so just teaching people to feel good about themselves. And how when you feel good about yourself, that's gonna draw other good people to you. And I think that's something we don't teach people enough about. And as I said before, how they can be selective, you know? When I was a teenager, and boys certainly weren't knocking down my door by any means, except that well, two boys. We won't talk about number two, we'll talk about number one. Number one boy also had cerebral palsy. Nothing wrong with that, except he would call me and talk about other things he can do. And even at 16, 17, I'm on the phone going, this doesn't feel good. It's not good to be around, you know? So teaching people what feels good, what they're comfortable with, what they're not comfortable with, you know? I will tell you quickly about number two. So number two boy, who could verbally speak, came to my door out of the blue. I hardly knew him. And Cinderella whipped out a piece of paper and a pen, wrote something down, and handed me the notepad, and it said, will you go to the prom with me? Which, in retrospect, was sweet, but at the time, like, you have a voice, you can tell me that yourself. So maybe I was too hard on him. Do you say yes, you were? Okay. So I want to talk a bit about positive core beliefs. These are thoughts that one has about themselves that shape most of their words, actions, thoughts, and feelings. Okay? So, who here had a real good day today? Real good day. Yeah. Do you notice how you feel different when you're having a real good day? Okay. And who here had a real lousy day today? And that traffic coming here was just the cherry on top. And you notice how you feel on those days. That's a lot like our core beliefs about ourselves. So what we're carrying around in ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, spills out to our words, actions, thoughts, and feelings. So, going back to my example that I just said about the boy with CP who was so negative about himself, and then would say, "So you want to go out on Friday?" And they would go, "Oh no, you know, I don't want to be around the energy. I want to be around positive, believing in yourself, focusing on what you can do," right? Because we are what we think. We really are, you know, and that when we think positive about ourselves, that's what we become. And when we think negative, well, we become that too. So I gave you several examples here that are very much disability related. I am a person that great works my disability adds a value to me as a person. I am much to offer someone in a relationship. So let me go back to what I said at the beginning. Dating with a disability is really hard. Doable, but hard. I mean, if you don't have a disability, and if you're dating now, if you haven't dated in 10 years, I want you to think about how hard it is. You know, will they like me? Am I doing the quote-unquote right thing? What do they think of me? And when you have a disability, when it's obvious that you're different in some way, you gotta put even more into that bank of self-worth, okay? Because it will be hard, and there will be rejections, and there will be painful moments. But you gotta help the person in your life to understand that regardless of what happens out here, their worth stays intact. And their disability is a positive attribute of who they are, and that they believe in that will lead them to a relationship that works. Some more examples: I deserve a fun, loving, healthy relationship. We really gotta help people also think about what they deserve, all the good that they deserve in life. And there's someone out there who would love to be in a relationship with me. And believe it, even on the days where it's so hard to believe that. So, by the way, I meant to say that at the beginning, the center of the handout, not the one sheet, but the, I think 3, 4 page one, there is a summary of all the slides and all the key points in the training. And I did put a couple exercises in there for you as a family member, a mentor, a person with a disability, you can do. And this exercise is about helping people to write their core beliefs about themselves. And a core belief is different from a positive attribute that one has. So a core belief is, I am worthy of someone who will be positive about me. Okay? It's not, I had good eyes. Do you see the difference in between the two? So helping a person to develop a positive core belief, and hopefully at least you can help them develop 5 of them about themselves. And if you as a family member feel it's too close to home, try to get someone who works with your family member, a trusted friend, someone they can do this with. So then we're on to proactive approaches. And I'm going back to the fancy quote that reveal the dreams, build it and they will come. And I believe we don't work with people enough on believing in themselves, even when it's difficult, or even when they are not getting the results that they need. That people need to remember that Winnie the Pooh quote, that you are strong, braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. And the way we do this is to help people to identify what is it are their positive qualities. You know, what is it that they can focus on for being in a relationship? You know, one of the hardest moments for me personally in my dating career was when I had met this guy through my best friend in the world, and I asked her to try to set up. And her response to me was, well, you really need someone more athletic than you. And to me, that was not looking at all that I could bring to a relationship. And that may be the responses, the reactions that your loved one, the people you work with, gets, that focus on what you can't do, what you don't bring, what you don't have. And what you need to do is to build up that belief in what is there and what can be brought to a relationship. And that's why I created the handout, that separate handout for you so you could do some of these exercises. And I know that some phrasing can be controversial. Fake it until you make it. Everyone hears that phrase before. Some people think it's some baloney, but let me tell you how I see it. That fake it till you make it means you help a person act how they want to become until they believe it in themselves. You know? And I don't think we teach that enough to people with disabilities. That, come on, you can do this. Just act the way you want to be. Practice it. You want to be witty in conversation. Practice it. You know, fake it until you make it. And as I said earlier when I shared the survey with you, many people in that survey say, I'm not attractive enough. And myself, I would say, when I was single, well, I feel like my disability takes away from how attractive I am. I stopped saying that the day a friend looked at me like I had 2 heads for saying that. And I think that ties into what the messages that we get from the media. I mean, if many of us listen to the media, none of us fit into that very narrow category of who's attractive. So really teaching people about feeling attractive, about owning it, about teaching people that attractiveness is not a physical condition, but it's a state of mind. So the bonus to this, if you can fake it till you make it, if you can believe these core beliefs, is that the person that you have in your life with a disability will begin to change how they feel about themselves. And they'll begin to really act differently because they are believing more in their positive qualities in what draws them to other people. And the best example I can share with you about that is back to my husband and I a couple months ago. We've been together about 12 years now. On our first date though, I told you I've been single a long time. Had a lot of experience dating and being single. By the time I had my first date with him, I had rules. One is you had to meet me in person and not talk over the phone to me because I wanted you to have the full effect of me. And two, I had learned from men not calling me back that on the very first date, I should say, so, how are you doing with me? Having a disability. So, when I met my husband, we had dinner, talking everything. He's quiet. I'm a talker. It's okay. It's all good. We get to dessert, and I say to him, so, how are you doing with me? And he gets these crocodile tears welling up in his eyes, and I think to myself, I am never going on another date again. I just made my date cry. So he said to me, I just don't know. It's so uncomfortable. And it's luckily he has it insight. He goes, it's not you, it's me. I'm just very uncomfortable. And I just take a deep breath. And I said, oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm always good at the bowling. And I really like you. I did. And so, if you want to get to know me and hang out with me and figure this out, that's great. But I can tell you this is who I am, and that's a part of the package. And we ended up actually talking quite a bit longer that night. But I got in the car and driving home, I'm like, I had no clue if I'm ever gonna see him, hear from him again. So the next night, I got home from work, checked my email, and there was the email from him. And he said, you know, I can't stop thinking about our date. And I really don't know about this whole disability thing. But what I do know is you're so confident that I gotta at least take the time to get to know you. And 2 years later we were married. So, and that was a big turning point for me, and actually the impetus to me doing this work is I, for years, spent so much time thinking that the answer to dating with a disability was outside oneself, when it was really in here. It was really in the person with a disability being confident, having good self-esteem, being empowered enough to say, this is who I am, take me or leave me, but this is who I am. that it was the impetus into me wanting to do this work on dating and relationships that is more about what happens in here as the kid. Now, the PS and the story. So my husband and I began dating in June, which is always a great time to begin dating because you have this summer romance. So every weekend we would go out to dinner, to a concert, whatever. And at the end of every day, I would go, "So, how are you doing with me?" And he would, and for like 2 months, he would go, "I'm really not sure yet." "So what are you doing next weekend?" So I knew we were headed in the right direction. So, yeah.
I just want to say, I am like so impressed that you were able to just open yourself up, but you weren't defensive or anything like that.
I am too. I can't believe I did
But, and I love the fact that your husband was honest.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yes. And you know, I got to that part of the story. Yeah. So when he began to cry, and I was like, oh my gosh. There was such a part of me that was like, oh, thank God. Honestly, you know, someone who is going to say, oh, I'm fine, and never call me again. You know? Yeah. And I think our story should not be unique.
Right.
Our story should happen a lot more.
But you see, what I see a lot, and in all populations, a lot of people trying to change themselves.
Right.
That was the other thing that I love about you, that you know what I mean? You were able to say, this is who I am.
Right.
And this is not going to change.
And I should say that what led up to that moment was hours of therapy. So, and I got also say, for years I saw that the male therapist, and he gave me some of the best advice that's in dating advice. And I think that's so helpful to anyone dating. He said, you know, you're just not everyone's cup of tea. And I think that people with disabilities in particular, because rejection and acceptance can be so tricky, that we tend to believe everyone has to be like us, you know? And when my therapist said to me, not every guy is going to date you, it was like, oh, I'm free, I don't need to impress every single guy. I can focus on just, yeah.
But he saved you years of living by telling you that.
I know.
That's something you don't usually learn till you're a lot older.
I know. I know. Well worth the money. You know, because if you think about the stereotypical teenager who is promiscuous and just engaging in sex, usually they're looking for something. And that sex, that relationship is when you feel something in them. But if you begin with the understanding of who you are and what you want and what really makes you happy, then you're going to be more prone to be picky. You have a relationship, or you have a friendship, and knowing that it will probably take longer than what is typical. Just a reminder that we don't teach people enough about how dating and relationships are about opening our hearts to people and choosing, making a very conscious decision to be intimate with them, to make that choice and not have it be impulsive. So a couple keys to remember is that it's very important to teach someone how they're feeling about a relationship. Once they get, even if they go out on a date, check in with them. How did you feel on that date? And for some people, you may have to say, did that feel bad or good? And help them with that decision-making process. But we need to remember, and I know it's challenging, given where people are at and the different points on the continuum, but everyone, no matter what their circumstance, no matter what their abilities are, have the potential for a healthy relationship. You have to believe that. Because if you don't believe it, it won't support the person to have a healthy relationship. I want to touch about really quick about people losing confidence. You know, people go trying to meet someone, being rejected, losing confidence, and not letting it corruption them. And teaching people that a no doesn't define who they are. No is what someone says, not who you are. A lot of times when people are rejected, they need even more focus on maintaining their positive beliefs. You know, on focusing on all that is good about them, even when they don't get the result that they want. Another activity is, so I'm having you do the positive core beliefs of your loved one or whoever you work with. Then I want you, with the person, to write a list of their positive attributes. This is where they can put, I'm funny, I have great blue eyes, I like movies. Have them write all the positive attributes that they have. I'm a big believer in writing, recording things down so that people can look at them, so that you can review them on a regular basis. Really quite some confident builders for you. Often people believe, as I said, that a disability can make them unattractive, and to help them learn that attractiveness has nothing to do with appearance, but it's a state of mind. And really teaching people that. And then are some people not gonna be okay? Not gonna be comfortable being with a person with a disability? Yes! Yes! Do you want that person in your life? And teaching people that when there's a rejection due to one's disability, then that's good that they're freeing you up to people who want to be with you.
Right.
And teaching people that they're in control, actually, of this whole dating and relationship thing by focusing on what they believe about themselves, what they believe they deserve, and teaching people, and maybe that's out, that confidence and self-esteem are like their own barometer, and they can control how high or low that goes with their thoughts, what they think, what they say about themselves. I am also a big believer that you need a support system around dating and relationships. And if you're a family member, maybe you're not part of the support system. Maybe your loved one feels too uncomfortable. Find people who can support your loved one, who can talk, even if it's dad, the mentor, someone, get them support so that they have people they can talk to about this. And rejection upon rejection, just knowing that rejection doesn't define a person. I think a lot of people, regardless of disability, take rejection so personally, and it can really do damage to self-esteem and confidence. And teaching them to not take their rejection in so much. And disability does not take away at all from who you are, what you believe about yourself, your beauty, your disability adds into it. And others will see that too. These are the resources that I said if you put down you want, I can email you a document that will have the, you can click on the link right in the document. But there are really a lot more resources becoming available online for dating and relationships for people with disabilities. So I just have a couple pages um, of the outcover. And these are the sources that where I got all those um, statistics. I just say the NPR story shares the most recent statistic, which is that if you're a person with a intellectual disability, according to U.S. Justice Department, you are 7 times more likely to be sexually assaulted than someone without a disability. So thank you very much